Art and creativity. They are the lifeblood of human expression, capturing our imagination and transforming our world. In the bustling heart of Lagos, one visionary is redefining the landscape of artistic innovation. Meet Chukwu, also known as Zeus, the creative force behind the Art Shop Lagos. As a creative director, Zeus brings a unique blend of vision and passion to the vibrant Lagos art scene. But his influence doesn't stop there. A graduate of Middlesex University, London, Zeus is also the founder of Black Oak Properties and BMF Concepts, showcasing his versatility and entrepreneurial spirit. His diverse ventures span from the world of art to real estate and innovative concepts, all driven by a relentless pursuit of excellence. The Art Shop Lagos stands as a testament to Zeus' commitment to creativity. It is a sanctuary for artists, a space where imagination knows no bounds and where the essence of Lagos' cultural richness is brought to life through stunning artworks and visionary projects. Black Oak Properties reflects Zeus' ability to blend aesthetic sensibility with structural innovation, creating spaces that are not only functional but also inspiring. Meanwhile, BMF Concepts pushes the boundaries of creative thinking, crafting experience that leave a lasting impact. Join us as we delve into the inspiring journey of Chukwu, aka Zeus. His story is a powerful reminder that with creativity, vision, and determination, one can shape the world.
I'm the creative director for the Lagos Art Shop. At the Lagos Art Shop, it's a creative hub for great creative minds. We, come up with unique, beautiful paintings, sculpts, metal works, and textured works, a lot of textured works, basically art and craft. So it started at a friend's workshop. I used to love art, and my friend does a lot of sculpted works. So I was at his store one day and someone came and needed to touch up a painting. And then I'm like, oh, let me help you, which I did. And then that's how it pretty much started, because I found out I liked it. I enjoyed touching this work up, and then he paid me. I'm like, so there's money in this stuff. And next time someone came and asked of me and then gave me some job, which I did and delivered, and then they really, really liked it. And so from there, I started working with interior designers and, developers, basically. The major challenge I've had is cash flow management. I think I still have that till now. Whereby sometimes, you budget something and then you go over budget, a lot of miscellaneous. I think that's my problem. Right now, yesterday, I did a transfer at the bank so I could pay up some vendors and, artisans. And then I had to add that miscellaneous, which ended up, I spent it anyhow. So I think cash flow for me is, I mismanaged cash flow, basically. Okay, I've been getting calls and referrals around the world, basically. I shipped 3 of my works to the UK last week, and I'm starting to, getting global recognition, if so to say. A lot of interior designers in Nigeria are coming around, they know the brand Lagos Art Shop, which, I'm happy about. I'm really, really excited for.
Hi, Chukwu. Good to have you, man.
Nice to meet
you. It's my pleasure. So tell me about your business. What do you do? How do you make money? Let me ask you a different way.
Okay, so we basically produce art, paintings, sculpts, you name it, art and craft, basically, There's an emerging market in Lagos right now where you have a lot of buildings coming up and people need or have the need to beautify their space, which is where we come in, I come in.
So you're an artist yourself, I imagine? Okay, and it's your art that you sell, or What about working with other artists?
Again, we have like a lot of artists and under, but it's so we work for our brand, the brand. Yeah, so
What's the brand?
Lagos Art Shop.
Okay. And so you incubate these artists, and how many artists do you have working for you right now?
Currently, I have 6.
You have 6 artists, each specializing in a different type, right?
Yes, sculpts, metal works, different.
Okay. Excellent. How long have you been doing this?
4 years now.
Okay. And I imagine you started off as yourself, and then you particularly got to scale. What's your skill set? You're into paintings?
Yeah, I'm into painting, a little bit of sculpt.
Okay. And so you monetize this by you find businesses that looking to beautify their spaces, and then you provide commercial solutions to them. Yeah. How many gigs do you get in a year like that?
In a year?
Or in a month, whatever is easier.
Okay, let's do a month. In a month, I do about 10 to 15 gigs, depending on how good the month is.
And are you considering a gig a piece of art, or are you considering a gig like a full? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I consider.
But that sounds like a pretty good business model, and this obviously is a growing, emerging market, like you said, in the space. All right. So now let's break it down in terms of your approach to the market. What's your costs, and what is your gross margins, or your margins in terms of? I don't want to get into specifics because obviously it's your business, but what I'm looking to kind of get a sense of is what does it cost you to run your business, and how much money do you potentially, in terms of percentages, make from your clients?
So basically, you're asking for percentage of the profit.
If you're comfortable,
profit margin. Yeah, sure. So for every piece we sell, we try as much as possible to have at least a 35% margin for profit.
Okay. And that is what you're referring to as profit. Is you're referring to as net profit, that is money in your pocket, or are you looking at cost of product? So canvas, paint, cost, and artist's time. These are the 3 things that cost me, let's say 100,000, for example. I'm now selling it for 135,000, so that gives me 35% margin. Is that what you're referring to as
that's basically margin.
Okay, so what about client sourcing, or what about the cost of marketing? Do you have any marketing costs?
Yeah, we do.
What about cost of delivering the artworks, installation? Do you do installation as well?
Yes.
So what about those costs?
So they are all included. We try as much as possible to include delivery, like you said, both because once we finish painting, there are separate people who stretch and frame it, so we have to send it over to them and then bring it back to make sure it's still good and do last minute quality check before we send it out. So all these things are in our plan, like we factor all these expenses.
So I'm sorry, I have some more questions. Do you value the job based on per gig basis, or do you just value as the cost of creating art, and then cost of stretching and mounting, and then cost of distribution? Like, how do you break down your cost structure?
So we start with the cost structure. You mean like how I value the painting?
Let me simplify this, right? So there are 2 ways of doing it. The way that most young entrepreneurs I meet who are passionate about their work but really don't have that business exposure, what they usually do is, okay, this thing cost me 5 naira. I have to pay some people, that cost me another 5 naira. If I sell it for 12 naira, I'm okay. And that's what they do. And then there's some people that understand scale and understand that as we scale the business, costs start compounding. And we start losing track of the thing was only costing me 5 naira. I'm now charging 12 naira. Why am I putting more money out of my pocket? Where's the money going? So for the understanding of where the money flows, it is very important to break down your cost structure in such a way where every single line of expense refers to a certain cost. Now, for example, Canvases, I believe, are imported in Nigeria. They're not made over here. So it's a highly volatile thing with regards to dollar. So there you go. So you understand that, but you don't understand the impact of it on your cost structure from a year-to-year basis. But if we separate that and say, okay, cost of canvas is this much, and then whatever is a local input, let's say paint is local, for example. I don't know if it is, but I'm giving you an example. Let's say paint is local. That won't be affected as much. So if you break it down in that structure, it just makes it easier for you to understand where your money is going. In 4 years, how much money have you kept in your pocket? Let me ask you that. Again, you can give me a percentage, you don't have to give me an amount.
Okay, I would say 10-12%.
Is it year after year, every year?
Yeah, yearly.
Okay, now here's the question. Do you take out the money before you close your monthly books, or do you take the money as you need it? Or do you say that, okay, I'm only going to give myself a salary of 50K, 100K, whatever, just so I can survive, and the rest of the money goes back in the business?
Yeah, so like the rest of the team, I'm also on salary.
Okay, so everybody's on salary.
Yes, everybody's on salary.
Are you considering your salary as the 10-12%, or you're considering your profit as 10-12%?
I'm considering the profit as 10-12%.
What do you do with that profit?
So again, we move it back into, getting some material, because like I said, like you rightly said, dollar is, volatile now. It goes up, it goes down. So what we do, we try and buy things and stock. Like paints, we buy it and stock. Sometimes if we buy frames too and, stock them, because the price of frame as at 2 weeks ago and now is like different. So, we need to put it down so that as time goes on, we have what we can quickly fall back on as we, take the hit for like the increase of price hit.
So your challenge on a market that basically pays you 10-12%, in a market that is giving volatility of the naira that goes up to 13, 14, 15%, is that your money can go out of your hand before you have even seen it. So the way to offset that risk is basically limit your inventory. Don't buy. I know that there's the idea that I want to buy more inventory, but at a certain point, inventory becomes non-moving. You may buy things that may not move the way you thought it would move, and that starts choking the business for cash. Your primary objective is not profitability. This is the mistake that most businesses make. Your primary objective is cash flow. Profitability is important, but it should come as a second thought. Profit is theory. Cash is real. You cannot go to Zenith Bank and deposit profitability. They won't accept it. If you take 100,000 naira cash, they'll deposit that. That's the difference. So what money you have available, if you tie it up in product, if you tie it up in finished goods, if you tie it in frames, it will choke your business from an aspect that you may find yourself in a position where your sale hasn't taken off and now you cannot pay salaries. As such, your artists are going to backtrack out of the business. So what you want to do is you want to keep minimum inventory and keep very close eye on your costs. And every time, so don't buy canvas, but keep an ear to the ground and say, okay, how much is on a weekly basis or daily basis? What's the new price? When the price changes, the new clients that you're onboarding, you quote them based on that. The other thing that you can do is, do you get paid before, during, or after the job? How do you get paid for your business?
So it's pretty much depending on there are clients who buy just one piece, and there are clients who buy in bulk. So if it's a one-off piece, you basically pay before, and then if it's a lot of pieces, we do 50% before we take the job, and then 50% once we deliver.
Adjust your 50% to your cost of goods. That's the key thing. Your life will be tremendously easy if just the cost of goods, so paint, brushes, thinner, sealant, whatever else goes, you know that, right? So make a list of your cost of goods, and whatever the gig is. So let's say there's a gig, somebody comes to you, Dangote comes to you and says, I want to buy 100 paintings. Excellent. Okay, this is my cost of 100 paintings, and whatever percentage that is, so no salaries, no distribution, no transportation, none of those, whatever that cost is, that is what they need to pay you as an advance. The reason why I'm saying this is if you do this, you will never have to tie your money in inventory, in raw material for your goods. You have paid me the 80%. I now go to the market. I now, based on your 100 painting, buy the goods I want to buy. I come to my workshop. I now start deploying the art on it, and then I now give it to you. At that point, you pay me the 20%. At this point, I can pay my distribution, I can pay my salaries, I can pay my wages, and that money is now left in my pocket. Whatever's remaining is my profit. It's a very hard control way of doing it, but it will take away. So don't do 50%. If somebody's willing to pay you 50%, they're willing to pay you 65%. And you can also explain it to them that because of the volatility in the market, there's nobody that is living in a bubble that doesn't know this, that this is the only way I can do it. If you want to pay me 50%, that's fine. But by the time I finish, maybe a month from now, I may have to come to you for an additional difference on the cost of goods. People will rather pay you upfront in terms of percentage and call it a day. That's my way of doing business.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And like I said, it reduces your inventory cost, which means that you're not choking your...
You're not buying and keep and just like tying the cash down.
Yeah, and so you're cash flow rich. So profitability is great, but what you need to be focused on in your business is how much cash do you have tied up in every aspect of your business? Who are the people that are holding what are the processes that are holding money, and how we can make it more liquid? So inventory control goes down. If you are any other aspects of your jobs that is tying up money, you need to clear that. Your framers, your stretchers, try and work out credit terms with them that they get paid. You don't give them any advances. You've done business with them for a few years now. I'll pay you after I get paid, so that also frees out cash. And then you settle all your bills, and then you are left with what is your hard money in your in hand, and then you can add more artisans, because I think that's the thing that will allow you to scale. If you add more, what I'm looking for, the word is more versatile skill sets. So we go from traditional sculptures to more modern art. Just hiring those kind of artisans will exponentially increase your catalog. All right, so it was a pleasure. I hope I was able to add some value to your business. I'm a big believer of Nigerian art. My wife tells me that if I buy any more art, I have to start stapling it to the ceiling because my walls are all full. So I enjoy what you do, and I wish you all the best.